It had been a crazy morning. Katie discovered that even dads don't always know where they've left their shoes. Orbie found out that you absolutely have to have a ticket to get on the plane. And they both learned that dads can spill their juice too when they're in a hurry. It had been so hectic getting Dad to the airport that when Mom said they had to go shopping, both Katie and Orbie felt a little let down. They felt like it should be a day full of adventure. Shopping really didn't sound like that. Mom told them that she could arrange a small adventure if she really thought about it. Katie and Orbie sat quietly so that she could. Finally, Mom raised a finger and told them she had a brilliant idea. They would play a game of shop and seek. Now, neither Katie nor Orbie knew what shop and seek was, but they were sure it would be fun. When they pulled into the shopping center, Mom parked the car and wrote 2 shopping lists. She gave a list to Katie and one to Orbie. Mom explained that she had listed 2 things for each person to find. Katie was to find hers, and Orbie was to find his. And nobody was to give hints unless they were asked. Inside the shopping center, Orbie wanted to go first. Katie and Mom agreed. Mom told him that number 1 on his list was envelopes. He thought for a moment and then smiled. He knew exactly where to get envelopes. Envelopes were at the post office. With a toot and a spin, they were off. Mom hurried behind him. When he got there, Orbie discovered that at the post office, you could mail envelopes and you could receive them, and you could buy very special ones. But you sure couldn't buy ordinary, everyday ones. Orbie scratched his head. He walked right by the shoe store. He knew for sure there wouldn't be envelopes there. Then he came to a store that had pens, pads, ink, stamp kits, and all kinds of office things. Orbie told Mom that this was the store. If there were pens and pads to write notes with, there had to be something to mail these notes in. Envelopes. Mom chuckled. Orbie was a very good guesser. As Mom paid for the envelopes, Katie started to think about where to go to get shampoo. That was first on her list. Katie told Orbie she knew the perfect place. She headed straight for the hairdressers. Mom told Katie that this was the perfect place to buy special shampoo, but she wanted regular shampoo. Katie thought again and started to walk along the mall. She passed the baker's shop and she passed the furniture store. Then she stopped right in her tracks. She was standing beside a store that had bottles of bath oil and soaps, magazines, diapers, and lots of medicine. She stood at the drugstore with her hands extended toward it. "Here it is," she said. "You can buy shampoo in this store." Mom congratulated her and went in to find it. Mom told Orbie that the next thing on his list was a cat collar. Orbie thought about it, and as soon as Mom was finished paying for the shampoo, he was off. He took them to the accessories store. There were belts and bags and stockings, and Orbie was sure that there would be a belt big enough to fit around Chance's neck. Mom pulled some out. They went all the way to the floor. Mom did a belt up and put it over her head. It was way too big to be a collar for Mom, and way too big for Chance. Katie and Orbie laughed. Chance could walk right through it. Orbie walked out of the accessories store and looked around. When he looked down the hall, he saw a big bird cage. It was standing near a window with puppies in it. Orbie told Mom that now he had an even better idea. When he got to the pet store, he knew he was right. There was a whole rack of animal collars. There was one that was just the right size for Chance. As Mom was paying for the collar, she told Katie that the next item on her list was to pick up Great Uncle David's reading glasses. Katie told Orbie that this one was easy. She walked them right back to the drugstore. She pointed to the rows and rows of glasses, and Mom shook her head. She told Katie that this was a good guess, but these glasses were sunglasses. The ones they were looking for were made especially for Great Uncle David. Katie thought for a moment. She walked down the hallway and looked in the different stores. It wasn't the drugstore, it wasn't the office supplies store, it wasn't the pet store, and it sure wasn't the dry cleaners. Mom told her that she was getting warm, which meant that she was getting closer to the right store. As she walked past the hairdressers, she noticed a small store next to it that had a big picture of someone with glasses on. She peeked in the store, and she knew she found the right place. The walls were full of glasses. Katie jumped up and clapped her hands. She had found the perfect place. Mom agreed. This was called the optician, she told them, and went in to get Great Uncle David's glasses. The friends were enjoying the game of shop and seek so much they were disappointed when Mom told them that all their shopping was done. Great Uncle David needed his glasses, so they would take them to him right away. Great Uncle David was very glad to get his glasses. To say thank you, he had one last game of shop and seek for Katie and Orbie. As they stood in the street near his home, Great Uncle David said he had a treat in mind. If they could look at the stores and figure out what the treat was, he would buy it for them. Katie and Orbie hurried down the sidewalk looking at all the stores. There was a shoe repair store. They both knew that wasn't it. There was a bicycle shop, and they knew that a bicycle wasn't a treat either. Next, they came to a shop called the Tailor's. Orbie wondered if they would put tails on you, but Mom told them that they made and repaired clothes. Katie stood looking at a store window. "It's an ice cream cone," she said as she ran back to Great Uncle David. He chuckled and told her she was right. They all agreed that shop and seek was the best way to go shopping, and to this very day they still play it. I have to tell you that they're getting very good at knowing where to buy things. And if you go shopping, you could play shop and seek. And you get very good at knowing where to buy things, too.